Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we're looking at the Hiya Toys Aliens Colonial Marines 3 3/4 inch Hicks, Hudson, and QUINTERO. Now, they're mostly the same figure. That's why I'm going to do all three in one video. We just have some different accessories and some tiny different details, but really it's a bunch of the same figure. So one video for all three. These guys are pretty cool. Now, I'm not really into the 3 3/4 inch figures. I don't collect them at all, other than like a giant man slash Ant-Man slash little Ant-Man type thing. But they sent me these to review for you guys, so I figure I would review them for you guys. They look pretty cool. They have a decent amount of articulation, some that I wasn't expecting, and some of the paintwork is really good. So I have to say they're pretty impressive offhand. Like I said, it's not my thing, but for those of you that collect them, it seems like the kind of thing you guys would really like. So let's get them off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, the first one we're going to look at is QUINTERO. He stands just about 4 1/4 inches, right around there, which makes him just about 10.5 centimeters. Is that normal size for this scale figure? It seems like they're about the right size, but they're almost always advertised as 3 3/4 inch figures, but that's clearly larger. So is that normal? You guys can let me know if you collect the smaller figures. I'm not familiar with them in that regard. Now, you will notice on this guy, though, you know who he is because on his chest it actually has his name, which is pretty cool. I think they got a lot of detail in such a small figure, so I like that a bunch. The paintwork on the face, not quite as impressive. It's not bad, but it's all right. The thing I really like, though, is the camo. Not only the camo on the armor, but the camo on the clothing. It's pretty cool looking, and you can even see the US flag on there. So I like that. It's obviously not the cleanest paint job in the history of clean paint jobs, but it's not bad. I think it looks all right. Now, they all have the exact same body. They all have the secondary hand that kind of looks like it has a trigger finger going on, and then we have the primary hand that most definitely has a trigger finger, and we have various articulation. The only real difference is the heads and the paint job, and then the accessories, which let's talk about the accessories first. He comes with 2 different guns, some kind of little scanner type thing, a helmet, and a display stand. Now, the helmet doesn't really fit on his head very well because he's got a mohawk. So I guess you don't really want to use that. He could be holding it maybe. It looks all right. It's a cool accessory, but can't really put it on his head. Now, the other guns and other scanner type thing, he can hold no problem at all. So that's pretty cool. Articulation-wise, for the head, we have a ball peg for the head itself, and then a ball peg for the neck. So you can move it around pretty well. Sometimes it's a little bit of a trick to get the neck to go where you want it without the head moving, but still, it's pretty darn good. So I think I'm okay with that. For the shoulder pad is fixed in place, so it might get in the way a little bit, but you have the fixed hinge for the bicep. It'll rotate around forward and back, and then we have the hinge almost horizontally out to the side. No bicep swivel there. It's down here in the elbow, which works just fine. You get better than 90 degrees in some cases. This guy's about 90. You could kind of force it depending on which angle it's at, but it's going to be right around 90. But you have the hinge and the swivel there, so that's pretty good. And then you have the same type of joint for the wrist. You have the hinge and the swivel. And as you can see, the hinge is really big, so I don't think you really have to worry about that breaking too much. So that is all right. For the torso, I'm not sure if it's a single or a double. It feels like a single, but you can lean him forward and back, side to side, full rotation. No real problem posing that at all. For the hips, it's a ball peg that pops off really easily. And I mentioned in the power loader video that you might need to pop his legs off to get him in the loader. So maybe that's intentional. I'm not sure. But you have a ball peg that goes into that socket for the hip, and then you can thigh swivel right there. So it's not bad. It's just that the legs pop off really easily. So that's something you're going to have to deal with. It's not good, but it's not deal breaker, I don't think. For the knees, we have double joint, so they have really good range, no trouble at all. And then for the ankles, I was pretty surprised about the ankles. Let's use this foot as our demo piece. You can tuck the boot in a little bit into the armor so you can bring the foot forward. Goes really far back. And then it also has a peg in there that lets it have an ankle rocker just like a Marvel Legends. And the other cool thing is the entire thing can rotate around. So it's essentially a ball hinge in the ankle. So pretty good range. It's a little tricky sometimes to get that boot tucked into the shin armor, but that is pretty darn cool. So I like that a bunch. So that's the same body on all of them. That's why I spent all the time on this guy. You'll notice the details on his chest will change, and I'll show you the other guys, and we already went over this guy's accessories. Oh, they also have this thing back here, which just kind of can swivel around. I don't think it's really meant to move. I think it's meant to be fixed on the figure, but it is there. Then we also have this thing which can move around a little bit also. All right, so that's QUINTERO. You can tell, you can see the face and the chest. Next one we have up is HUDSON. And HUDSON has a different head, obviously, and a different name on his chest. So that's him. And his helmet does fit on his head. Now, accessories for him include, instead of that long gun, a pistol. Then we have that same kind of greenish gun, that same scanner thing, and the same helmet, and the same display stand. So that is HUDSON. And then the last one we're going to look at is this guy, which is Hicks. Again, different head. His helmet does fit on him okay. You can see his name is a little bit different. And his accessories include a pistol and a shotgun instead of that long gun. So that's pretty cool. He's got a shotgun, the green gun, the scanner thingy, and the helmet. So, they're pretty cool figures. And those of you that are Aliens fans are going to be happy with them. And those of you that aren't Aliens fans, you're probably going to pass up on them. So that's about it. They're good enough for what they are. I think they're pretty cool. Not my personal cup of tea, but that doesn't really matter. If you like Aliens, you'll probably like these. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have a new video every single day, sometimes more than one. We talk about action figures, video games, TV, movies, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.